Good, happy Monday morning, everyone. November 5th, 2018. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, record high voter turnout expected for midterm elections. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Tim Callery.
Pushed out the door when it matters most. For more than a decade, he's been right there, everywhere. And when American jobs are on the line, he leads the charge. ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast, and we thank you.
540,000 people are predicted to cast their vote. The Secretary of State's office says that would set a midterm general election record.
Hopefully we can change it around, turn it around anyway. We just need people to get out and vote. That's what you got to do. The blue. We need to turn it blue.
We want Trump's agenda to continue making our country great again. And, you know, if the Congress goes back to the Democrats, that's going to be a big problem.
But why are the numbers so high?
On the Democratic side of things, you have a lot of voters who have been fired up since the 2016 election about getting a chance to vote for a Democratic Congress. On the other side of the aisle, you have a lot of Republican voters who see this as a referendum on the Trump administration and want to turn out and express their support for the White House. And
so how will each race stack up? In CD1, Galderi says right now it looks like that seat will remain blue, with Chris Pappas winning over Eddie Edwards.
There have been a couple of polls that suggest this could be a close race, but I think Pappas has advantages in terms of fundraising, in terms of name recognition.
For CD2, Galderi says the political pulse is beating in favor of Annie Kuster over her opponent, Steve Negron.
She is in a position, thanks to her fundraising relative to Steve Negron, where she is probably feeling very comfortable going into Election Day.
And Galderi says Governor Sununu should also feel comfortable about holding his spot in the State House over opponent Molly Kelly.
He's led in every poll that's been released of the race. You know, there are Democrats who argue that this race is tightening up. And if you had, you know, really massive Democratic turnout, perhaps you could see an upset. But I think, you know, Sununu is probably favored going into Tuesday.
And Galderi says besides those three races, people will also want to keep an eye on the other local ones that are happening, including those for the Executive Council and the State House and State Senate races. We're live here in Manchester. I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Person critically injured after front of restaurant collapse. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
ShowerDoors.com and use our estimator tool to design the perfect shower for your home. Whether it's a frameless shower door, steam enclosure, tub slider, or spray panel, let us create your personal oasis at OasisShowerDoors.com.
Officials tell us a structural engineer is out here on the scene taking a look at this building. You can see the rubble right on the ground. That rubble apparently hitting a woman, falling on top of her, critically injuring her. Now, fire officials say they received a 911 call just before 3 p.m. here at 85 Harvard Ave in Alston, where the Common Ground restaurant is located. Witnesses say they heard a loud crash and saw a woman under the rubble. One neighbor told me several people jumped in to remove the debris and perform CPR on that woman, who was visibly injured and bleeding. That woman transported to a local hospital along with another man. Fire officials say they've extended this scene from 85 Harvard Ave to 75 Harvard Ave, while investigators continue to search for the cause of this collapse.
We're looking at, cameras nearby. But right now, no one appears to have witnessed it.
Lady who was just walking down the street. And it happened like right there, almost by the hair salon. And then luckily the guys in the shop next door saw, and they came running out, and they started taking her out.
And the owner of the Common Ground restaurant also told me when the collapse happened, it sounded and felt like an earthquake. Fire officials add that 6 people had to be removed from the rear of the Common Ground restaurant. Officials do worry that this building could collapse again, so they'll be out here blocking off Harvard Ave for the rest of the evening and potentially until tomorrow.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Portland fire crews respond to fire inside Jiffy Lube. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
I want you to keep your elbows straight.
CPR has changed. Bystanders no longer have to worry about mouth-to-mouth or check.
Fire crews in Portland were busy this morning. Some breaking news to bring you. They had to respond to a car fire inside of a Jiffy Lube. This was on Riverside Street early this morning. Firefighters were able to contain those flames relatively quickly, but no word on how much damage it caused or exactly what might have caused it.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. European markets mixed. Vopak up 5%. Banks in focus. European stocks were mostly mixed on Monday morning as investors designated different political events. And here's a look at the markets for you. As you see, a couple in the high and a couple in the red. Trump projects reserved confidence Republicans will be victorious on Election Day. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
Abstract accident. Seen it, covered it. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Tonight with the final sprint into one of the most fiercest and most consequential midterm elections in memory. President Trump storming through the South in the final days, so much riding on the line for him, leaning on his midterm motivators to stop what he describes a potential blue wave in the House, while former President Barack Obama stumps hard in Gary, Indiana, a Senate race in that state Democrats need to hold on to. That battle between blue and red appearing to tighten. More than 30 million Americans have already voted, at least 27 states surpassing 2014 totals. Our latest ABC News Washington Post poll showing Democratic House candidates leading Republicans by 52 to 44% among likely voters. That lead narrowing since summer. ABC White House correspondent Tara Palmieri starts us off tonight in Tennessee at one of the president's rallies.
Tonight, the president making his final push, barnstorming in critical states with his greatest hits of attacks.
We overcame the Democrat smear campaign and confirmed the newest member of the United States Supreme Court, Justice Brett Kavanaugh. So if you want more caravans and you want more crime, vote Democrat. It's very simple.
That caravan is still 700 miles from the border, but the president saying the migrants present an imminent threat.
Because you look at what's marching up, that's an invasion. That's an invasion.
In the Trump-friendly state of Georgia, voters at this rally say immigration is their top issue.
We need a wall. We need a wall. A wall. A wall. A wall.
But in today's ABC News poll, it comes after the economy and healthcare. Some questioning why he isn't talking more about the thriving economy.
He is. He's talking about many different things that he's accomplished as president because the list is so long.
But the president says he loses the crowd on that talking point.
They all say, speak about the economy, speak about the economy. But sometimes it's not as exciting to talk about the economy, right?
The president casting the election as a referendum on his leadership and pushing his base to turn up for him. Are you voting for the president or are you voting for the candidates on the ballot?
I'm really voting for the president. I want him to have some help. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm what I call a Trump-publican.
Unlike some people, I don't just make stuff up when I'm talking. I've got facts to back me up.
Former President Obama in Illinois urging voters to vote their disapproval.
They promised they were going to take on corruption in Washington. Instead, they've racked up enough indictments to field a football team. Nobody in my administration got indicted.
And Tara joins us now live from Chattanooga, Tennessee, the site of President Trump's latest rally. And Tara, we are seeing the excitement from Trump supporters similar to what we saw right before the 2016 election.
That's right, Tom. It feels like the presidential campaign all over again. In this packed stadium, there are more than 10,000 people. Tomorrow, the president heads back out on the road for his final stops on the campaign trail in Indiana, Missouri, and Ohio. Tom?
Tara Palmieri for us tonight. Tara, thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast and news report. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.